DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast, streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Temperatures are going to be unseasonably warm this week with some rain on the back end of the week ahead. Rebecca Delaney with the National Weather Service in Lincoln tells Regional Radio she is anticipating midweek rain, then it will return for the weekend.
This week, for Central Illinois, we're looking at the mid-70s to low 70s for our highs until this weekend. So right now we are in a high pressure regime. So that means we've got calm, beautiful weather, and the air is not going to be moving out of the area, bringing cold air until this weekend when we have that cold front coming from the Canada area. That cold front that is expected to move through this weekend is going to bring the rainy conditions and then temperatures dropping down into the 50s for highs. Actually, our overnights this week, the temperatures are going to be in the upper 50s to low 60s. Right now, our storm total amount is, some areas can get over 2 inches, but that's all we've determined right now for the weekend. We've got some rain showers coming in possibly on Tuesday night into Wednesday. And then we'll get about a day break, a day or two break. And then on Saturday, the showers are coming back in with that big cold front coming through. And we can start seeing that overnight Friday.
As we get to Halloween next week, Delaney says we're going to see a cold front roll in, and it is going to significantly cool things off as we get ready for a night of trick-or-treating.
So starting this weekend, we're going to be dropping down into the 50s for highs thanks to that cold front moving through, with lows potentially getting below freezing in some spots. And then for Halloween, this is the big forecast. It looks like we're going to be in near the 50s for the afternoon, and then it's going to get possibly below 32 that night. We're going to continue to see some below average temperatures. The Climate Prediction Center shows us having a good chance of below normal temperatures in the next 8 to 14 days.
November is showing trends to average temperatures with above average rainfall, bringing the possibility to ease drought conditions developing through much of Illinois. We'll hear more from Delaney on that in the days ahead on Regional Radio. A local Department of Natural Resources authority is giving an update on the hunting season so far and says they are seeing a recurring theme of disregard for caution they've been harping on for a few years now. DNR Conservation Police Captain John Williamson on the WHOW Morning Show Monday told Regional Radio they've seen a couple fatalities already this hunting season from hunters that did not give those tree stands a pre-check and ended up falling.
Unfortunately, the big thing we always talk about is tree stand safety. And we've had two fatalities and one major injury from some people falling from tree stands. It's a every year thing, and we can't get the word out enough. Is those safety straps? Make sure you get them. Make sure you use them. Make sure you check them. Make sure they're in good shape before you get up in your tree stands. Make sure you check those straps every year. You know, squirrels could chew on them, everything else, and I know at least one of them was strap failure when a hunter fell out and ended up being a fatal mistake. So you got to check those straps every time you get in a tree stand, but especially at the start of the year. Get up there, check those tree stands, make sure they're safe for the year. One was in Shelby County.
As we approach the popular firearm deer hunting season next month, Captain Williamson reminds of the changes to the firearm regulations in Illinois.
See, the big thing is when we're getting all the questions on is about rifles. This will be the first year that they are allowing centerfire rifles. Now, only certain calibers, certain styles of rifles. So if you're going to use one, make sure you look up on our website, make sure it's going to be legal. You know, I get a ton of questions about normal rifle calibers like a 308 or 30-06, 30-30. Those are illegal because they're bottleneck cartridges. They're not allowed. So it's a straight walled centerfire cartridge of at least 30 caliber. So probably some of the new ones are like your 350 Legend, that sort of thing is probably your new ones that are out there. So just make sure if you're going to take a rifle to field, it's got to be single shot and it's got to meet those requirements. Make sure you check our website and get all the information you need. So a centerfire rifle is a cartridge that has the primer in the center of the cartridge.
With the cool weather starting next week, Captain Williamson anticipates an uptick in outdoor activity. For the first time in 25 years, the National Weather Service in Lincoln is installing a new radar. As a result, the National Weather Service is out of commission for 2 weeks as construction continues. While the radar is out, the National Weather Service in Chicago and Lincoln will cover central Illinois.
It's the foundational support of that whole dish, and it's the main component, basically, besides, all the equipment, transmitter equipment. But without that, the radar would be down for a long time if it failed, without us having taken care of this particular upgrade. Well, we're doing the fourth phase of the Service Life Extension Program, which is replacing our pedestal that holds the radar dish and spins it around continuously all year long. Service Life Extension Program has an 8-year span that's been covering, and it's ending this year. Then that's the entire National Weather Service nationwide. But Lincoln's upgrades have, I think, been going on over the last 5 years or so.
That's Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet Service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month. And get a free Roku 4-lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
For more than a century, AM radio has evolved to meet the needs of our community. More than 80 million listeners depend on AM radio each month. AM radio is also the backbone of the emergency alert system, which keeps us safe in dangerous times. It's reliable, free, and public safety depends on it. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey, this is Todd Gleason from Illinois Extension here with a time change for our daily market report on WHOW. You can now catch our daily review of the commodity markets at 5:06 on all of WHOW's many platforms. You'll still hear all of our commodity analysts and weather professionals each afternoon, but at a brand new time. And you'll still hear the weekly wrap-up of the commodity markets right here on WHOW when Commodity Week airs Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Remember the time change for the daily closing market report on WHOW at our new time, 5:06 p.m. weekdays.
Cooler weather is on the way, and at Love It Once More thrift store in Clinton, we're here to help. We have all our pants and jeans, adults and kids, on sale for 20% off. So come and see us. This is Connie reminding you to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is Ryan Utterback with Utterback Real Estate. Selling your house on your own can be overwhelming.
Pricing, phone calls, showings, negotiating offers. Did I mention the paperwork and baking all those cookies for open houses?
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
For stress-free selling, click the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
With SRN Sports, I'm Michael Harrington. We begin with Major League Baseball playoff action last night of the Texas Rangers. They win the American League pennant behind another big game from Adolis Garcia.
The Rangers are headed to the World Series for the first time in 11 years after Adolis Garcia homered twice in an 11-4 Game 7 win over the Astros. Corey Seager collected 3 hits, including a home run that started a 3-run first inning for the Rangers. Garcia finished with 4 hits, drove in 5 runs, and was named ALCS MVP.
That's correspondent Adam Spillane. Tommy Pham and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hit back-to-back homers, and Merrill Kelly struck out 8 to help the Arizona Diamondbacks force a Game 7 in the National League Championship Series with a 5-1 win over the Phillies. The winner of Tuesday night's game advances to the World Series against Texas, which beat Houston on Monday. As we heard, Diamondbacks came ready for Game 6 to back up some bold predictions. This is SRN Sports. Moving on to NFL Monday Night Football, Kirk Cousins connected with rookie Jordan Addison for 2 first-half touchdowns. Cameron Bynum intercepted San Francisco's Brock Purdy twice in the fourth quarter, and the Vikings beat the 49ers 22-17. Christian McCaffrey scored twice for the Niners. They lose their second straight game for the first time in a 34-match stretch and fall to 5-2. The Vikings improve to 3-4. In the National Hockey League, one match yesterday, Jake Allen made 36 saves to lead the Montreal Canadiens to a 3-1 win over the Buffalo Sabres, made several big stops in net to help them to their second straight win. NBA, They're coming back. The season begins tonight. Damian Lillard went to Milwaukee. Bradley Beal to Phoenix. Drew Holiday ended up in Boston. Chris Paul with Golden State. It was a busy offseason. Victor Wembanyama, of course, arrived in San Antonio. Nick Nurse took over in Philadelphia. LeBron James is now the oldest player in the league. This is SRN Sports.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. Last season, the Heart of Illinois small division had 0 playoff teams. Now it has 3, and the Resurgence has been led by the turnarounds at LeRoy and Heyworth. LeRoy football coach B.J. Zalesnik felt coming into this season they were cautiously optimistic they could be a postseason team.
Hey, you have to be cautious when you haven't been in the playoffs since 2018, and you know it just feel like you're a little bit snake bitten. And yeah, we were cautiously optimistic. We thought we had an opportunity to be pretty good, and things just worked out for us. Well, we obviously run the football. That's what we've always done, and done a good job of that. We're over the 3,000-yard mark in rushing through 9 games, and we've got a pretty balanced attack. We run a triple option, flexible offense, and quarterback, fullback, wingback play has all been solid. We've got some decent size up front. We've put some points on the board, and that's helped. But the one thing that we're vastly improved this year is on the defensive side of the ball. And in years past here, we've struggled to stay in games because our defense couldn't stop people. This year, our defense has allowed our offense to kind of figure things out and get going in the second quarter, and we've not given up too many big plays, and it's been a good combination for us this year.
Last year, Heyworth merely did not have the numbers to even field a team. This year, they've turned it around. The 7-2 Hornets will host a first-round playoff game. Coach Nate Albach credits his kids for staying with things through the adversity of last season.
Well, thank you. It's been a long road, and we've got a handful of guys that have been with us, have been with me anyway since day one when I took over, and now those guys are juniors and seniors. And like I said, it's just been a long road, and priority one was just kind of revive the program just with numbers. And now that we've got our numbers, I don't think anyone ever has their numbers where you want them, but they're healthy enough to have a good program. And we've got some very talented players, and they really love the game. They play so well together. They play so hard for each other. We also were fortunate enough to get a few new teachers in the school that are also coaches, and everything just kind of came together. Talented kids and a complete staff and a plan that we wanted to stick to, and sure enough, you start playing good football. We run the football like crazy, and I think that at the beginning of the year, a lot of our fans might have been a little frustrated with how much we ran it. Now at this point, I think they've latched on to that being our identity. So we got really good, talented crew of running backs, and our quarterback, Parker Bell, does a great job distributing. We got a little sophomore, Braden Brucker, at fullback, and then he's flanked by 2 wings that are both seniors, and Tyler Wills and Cooper Johnson, and those guys really spearhead the attack offensively. Defensively, just not very big, but man, the kids just play hard, and they swarm to the ball, and they don't allow very many big plays. So a team has to put long drives together to score. And when you force a team to do that, once in a while they'll make mistakes.
For Coach Zalesnik, the energy his team has been a catalyst to their success. He also credits the group for being very close.
I love our energy. I love our energy. They are as close a group as we've had in years. It's just that the juniors and seniors really click. We've got a huge junior-senior group, and that's helped, obviously, being older, being experienced. But we've got, around 30 juniors and seniors, and they do everything together. They get along, they have fun, and man, do they play with a ton of energy. And that just goes such a long way in football, especially in high school football with the teenage psyche. and they have a lot of fun and they play a lot of enthusiasm. So it's been a joy to watch.
For Coach Albaugh, there were a couple of moments in the midst of the season. He knew he could have a playoff team on his hands. He felt their Week 9 victory over GCMS provided the confidence to his team they could consistently win and compete with good teams.
That's a great question. We talked about it last night to our boys. When we beat DMAC, it was an excitement to be a part of the conversation. And then by the time we were playing, by halftime against Gibson City, you knew you were part of the conversation. You knew that you were actually a legitimately good football team. So both of those wins were very unique, without a doubt, both great for our program, great for our community. The one over DMAC was the kids seeing for the first time what they were capable of, and the one against Gibson City knowing that they can do it repeatedly, potentially.
Heyworth will host Hardin Calhoun Saturday at 2, while LeRoy draws Villa Grove Saturday at 1. Rookie Tyson Bedgett helped lead the Chicago Bears to their first home win in more than a year with quarterback Justin Fields sidelined. It looks as though the rookie will get another chance to start this week. Bedgett is in line to be behind center again, with Fields doubtful to play and likely missing his second consecutive game because of a dislocated right thumb, according to Coach Matt Eberflus on Monday. Bedgett delivered a steady performance in a 30-12 win over Las Vegas Sunday. Undrafted after a record-setting career at Division II Shepherd University in West Virginia, he led the 3 touchdown drives in his first start, and the 2-5 Bears won for the second time in 3 games after losing 14 in a row. Bedgett took over after Fields was injured in a Week 6 loss to Minnesota against Las Vegas. The Bears simplified the game plan and relied on short passes and handoffs. He went 21 of 29 for 162 yards and a touchdown, helping Chicago stop a 10-game home losing streak. Running back Deontay Foreman, the 6-year pro, ran for 89 yards on 16 attempts and recorded his first 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing and 1 receiving since signing with the Bears in March. Not bad for a player who was a healthy inactive in weeks 2 through 5, with Khalil Herbert on injured reserve and rookie Rashawn Johnson sidelined with concussions the past 2 games. He has taken advantage of his opportunity. Foreman had 65 yards on 15 carries against Minnesota. The Bears have not won 2 in a row since week 16 and 17 of the 2021 season. Packers coach Matt LaFleur says he still believes in quarterback Jordan Love, even as Green Bay's offense continues to struggle at the start of games. The Packers have been outscored 63-6 in the first half of their last 4 games. They trailed 9-0 midway through a 19-17 loss in Denver Sunday. Coach LaFleur says their confidence in Love is not wavering one bit. Although the Packers overhauled their roster to get much younger this year, they're delivering the same poor October results they produced last season. Last year, Aaron Rodgers' Packers followed up a 3-1 start by losing 5 straight. Love has Green Bay on a 3-game skid. The 2022 Packers dug their way out of that hole and had control of their postseason destiny before losing at home to the Detroit Lions in the final week of the season. This year's Packers have not shown they're capable of making a similar run. They lack experience, they can't stay healthy, and they start way too slow. The only encouraging sign is that 3 of the Packers' 4 losses were decided by a total of 7 points. After averaging 31 points over the first 2 games, the Packers have not exceeded the 20-point mark in any of their last 4. The NFL's youngest offense lost veteran tackle David Bakhtiari to a season-ending knee injury after 1 game. Running back Aaron Jones, the Packers' most proven playmaker on offense, has been dealing with a hamstring injury that forced him to miss 3 games and limited to no more than 11 touches when he's played. Even after rallying to pull ahead in the second half of each of their last 2 games, the Packers lost both because they could not protect fourth-quarter leads. Green Bay's defense has been pretty good, but not when it matters most. But it's hard to put much blame on a defense that's allowed fewer than 20 points in each of its last 2 games. The offense simply must get better, much better. The Packers have lost their last 6 October games. Their last October victory came in overtime over New England on October 2nd last season. Get sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Paul Scowen, CEO of Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton, here to remind you that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Warner Hospital has the same state-of-the-art 3D mammography technology as the larger hospitals, but also offers it in a compassionate, caring way close to home in Clinton. 3D offers more precise imaging for early detection of cancer and a significant reduction in radiation exposure. Book your preventative 3D mammo appointment at Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton by calling 217-935-9571.
All right, let's see here. Acuron corn herbicide. Powerful weed control? Check. Long-lasting residual? Check. Proven crop safety? Check. Acuron checks all the boxes, which is why it outperforms and out-yields all other corn herbicides by 5 to 15 bushels an acre. Talk to your local Syngenta retailer or visit findmorebushels.com to discover your revenue potential today. Always read and follow label instructions. Acuron is a restricted-use pesticide.
Let's face it, nobody likes to compromise. When it comes to your soybean fields, you shouldn't have to choose between powerful weed control and keeping your crops safe from stress and injury. Thankfully, there's Tendovo, a broad-spectrum pre-emergence herbicide formulated to fight weeds without sacrificing crop safety, delivering a higher potential yield for your fields. Tendovo, raising the pre-emergence bar one clean row at a time. Always read and follow label directions. Please check with your local extension service to ensure registration status.
Hey everybody, I'm Buddy Wilson, your new country financial agent in Clinton. We're here for you to provide the right insurance coverage and when you have a claim, whether on the farm or in town. My clients tell me that Country Financial's claim service always exceeds expectations because of our personal service. With everyone's rates going up, now's the time to stop by or call me to review your coverage and see how we can help. We have a long history of protecting people and work together to help you and your family achieve financial freedom. I'd like the opportunity to serve you, your family, and farm. I'm Buddy Wilson, your new country financial agent in Clinton.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Although Hamas has freed a handful of hostages it took during its brutal attack on Israeli civilians, more than 200 others still being held. The National Security Council's John Kirby says the Biden administration is going all out to find and free the 10 Americans among the hostages. The Pentagon dispatching more military gear to the Middle East, also going some U.S. advisors. House Republicans getting ready to try again today to pick a nominee for Speaker of the House. They'll hold a closed-door vote on the 8 candidates who are now in the running for the House speakership. China's top diplomat will visit the U.S. this week. Foreign Minister Wang Yi is due in Washington for a 3-day visit that will start on Thursday. He is due to meet with Secretary of State Antony Blinken, as well as National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. More details at srnnews.com.
You can From the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Seth Lawrence with this local news update. Temperatures are going to be unseasonably warm this week with some rain on the back end of the week ahead. Rebecca Delaney with the National Weather Service in Lincoln told Regional Radio on the WHOW Morning Show Monday she is anticipating rain midweek, then returning for the weekend.
This week for Central Illinois, we're looking at the mid-70s to low 70s for our highs until this weekend. So right now we are in a high pressure regime.